internet. Good evening, London, and good afternoon, New York City. Welcome to Two Venues, One Mic. Let me see the beautiful people. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. If you would like to see us, the Facebook and YouTube, you look up Nuyorican Poets Cafe. That is where we are going to have the recorded version of this. So after the show, if you want to come check it out, I am one of your hosts for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. In a little bit, we are going to be hearing from London, from my man Mo, who is hosting over there with Just Moetry. You can find them on Instagram. Go look them up at Just Moetry. I'm really honored to be working with them. Now, this started back when the pandemic. We had to move online. A lot of places were closed. And as we began to open up again, we didn't want to forget the people who are online. So we started doing events like hybrid shows. Half of the people were live in the venue and the other half were coming to us from Zoom. And then our executive producer of Two Venues, One Mic, Mariella Salazar, said, hey, you know, it'd be really cool if you were to do this, but with another venue. And the first she had thought about was out in London with Laylow. Like I said, we are going to be working with Just Moetry. We're going to hear from them in a second. So I'm excited about this. Unfortunately, here on the New York City end, there has been a blizzard. There's been a blizzard and the cafe had to be closed. A lot of venues over here had to be closed. Yesterday, there were venues that were being closed. So what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that we link up once again with Just Moetry to do another event. But he was gracious enough to say the show must go on. So if New York City, we're going to hear from the people through Zoom, then that's what we're going to do. We're still going to connect the two communities. We are going to make sure as well, I'm going to get all the info from Mo about who all the performers are on the London side so that we can find out where they are online so we can stalk them and we can celebrate their brilliance. I'm excited to hear them tonight. So this is how the show's gonna go. We're gonna go each at a time. We're gonna have three poets from representing the Nuyorican Poets Cafe go first. And then the next three poets we're going to have are going to be from London. I don't know who they are. I know I've heard a couple of the poets, so I'm really excited to hear who everyone is. And then we're going to do two from New York, two from London, three from New York, and then three back to London. Shout out to Gavin, who, oh no, it's Liam. I'm sorry. Liam and Gavin, who are handling the tech over there. They're going to have to be muting and unmuting themselves. We can see the people in Laylow right now. Oh, y'all look so beautiful. I'm excited to hear y'all. So, Nuyorican Poets Cafe has been around since 1973. It is on the Lower East Side. Those of you who are not in New York, if you ever get the chance to come to New York, please come to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. You can look it up at nuyorican.org. And of course, you can follow me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, or as they say in the UK, a Z at the end. And I do so because, you know, poetic license. I'm from the Bronx, hip hop, what. With that being said, we didn't come here to listen to me. We came here to hear the poetry. So I would like to kick it off. Let me make sure that my man Nico is here. My man Nico Diaz, yes, he is here. Let me unmute him. Also, as you're going to see, I'm going to constantly be asking poets, please let us know where we can find you online. All the poets in London, too, we want to make sure that we're able to hear you, too. Let us know where we can find you online. And then each poet's going to have 4 minutes to kick it off. Nico, oh, I tried to unmute you. I think you just muted yourself.
Yes,
There we
I
go.
did.
Awesome. Nico, it is a pleasure to have you on. You were kicking it off. The internet is watching you. The good people in London are watching you. They are spending their Saturday evening, so no pressure at all. Quickly let us know where we can find you online, and then we're ready to hear your poetry, brother.
All right, no doubt. What's good, everybody? My name is Nico Diaz. I'm repping the BX and East Harlem. I'm a queer Nuyorican poet, born and raised, and I am thrilled to be here today because, in addition to all my other identities, I am a self-professed Anglophile. I grew up loving British accents. I like Gabna, and just like all things literature, I was an English major in college, and so this first piece I'm going to do is actually an ode to the grandfather of the English language. Shakespeare was the father in literature, and so the grandfather is Geoffrey Chaucer. So the piece I'm going to perform is in Middle English, and it is something I memorized in high school, and it's the general prologue of the Canterbury Tales. So without further ado. One that April with a sure suit, the dropt of March hath pierced to the root, and bathed every vein in switch liquor, of which to engendered is the floor. One Zephyrus ache with the sweat of breath and spirit hath in every hot and heavy. The tender cropis and the youngest sonne, hath in the ram is half poor as iruna, and small a foolish smack and melody that schlepping all the neck with open ear. So pricket them not for in here courages, then long and folks are going on pilgrimages, and palmeres for to second strondi strongers to fend how it coop in sundry lunges, and specially in every series end of England to Canterbury they went, the holy blissful martyr for to seca that them hath open one that they were seca. Thank you. So that's the first piece, and that is in Middle English. So Old English is Beowulf, Middle English Chaucer, Modern English Shakespeare. And speaking of Shakespeare, the next piece I'm going to perform is a combination of a Shakespearean sonnet and a Petrarchan sonnet, excuse me. But it's with a New York flavor. Instead of having 10 syllables per line, it's 11, because I wanted to break the rules a little bit. That's what we do, poetic license hip hop. It's all about rebellion. So without further ado, oh, Uptown. Oh, Uptown, how do I love thee? Let me count all the ways. I love thee and thy hoods, Bronx, Harlem, the Heights, a triumph of realness in sounds, smells, and sights. Oh, how thou art misjudged, yet you do amaze, for beating the odds and doing so with grace. I love thee for thy slang, dead ass, mad eye, no cap, Brick City son. Yo, I'm OD tight. My guy, say it with thy chest. Fuck out my face. I love thee for thy vibes, teteos y coros, bright flashing lights, milky clouds of hookah smoke, dembo booming, true tesoros. Here, we honor our cultura, our kinfolk. Our love is lit. Our love cannot be deterred. So without further ado, can I get a year? I love you, Uptown. Alrighty, so those are my pieces. Again, follow me on Instagram at nicodiaz.nyc. And I look forward to connecting with the rest of the London blokes today. Mwah, thank you.
My man Nico Diaz representing the Bronx. Make sure that y'all give him a follow at NicoDiaz.nyc. Way to kick it off. I have no idea what poems people are going to be doing today, so like that was awesome. I did not expect that from him. All right, let's keep it moving. Next, I got Edis Morales. I'm asking Edis. I am is a beast of a poet. I'm talking nice about you, Edis. Where are you?
I'm here.
There we go. Where's Edie? Let me make sure that I remove my spotlight so that we can see you. Remove spotlight. Boom. Edie, let the people know let the people know where they can follow you online. And oh, I'm loving your hair right now.
It's a mess.
You are having a great hair day. I love it. All right, let the people know where they can follow you online and then kick that fire. It's good to see you.
All right, nice to see you too. Hello, London. My name is Iris Agustina Morales. I'm known as I Am, and I could be found in Lil Wicked 01_1014. Actually, I was trying to write something new, but I'm at work, so I'm just gonna go with something old. And the title is A Name. You shouldn't name things you don't intend to keep. A name is life. A name is a vibration, an essence. A name creates revolution and chaos. A name is an open wound. A name is love. A name liberates our ancestors. A name is a bigot, a savior. A name is a beating heart. A name is the first cry of my son. A name, it's irresponsible, naming something you do not intend to keep. Mama, you shouldn't have given me a name. Thank you.
I am Edie's Morales. One more time, let the people know they can find you online, please, in that beautiful hair of yours.
Thank you. You can find me in Lil Wicked, Lil Wicked, WICKED 01_1014. Thank you.
I am. Make sure you go give Edie's a follow. How they having a bad hair day like that, right? They say, oh, it's a bad hair day. Whatever. Are you kidding me? Hair's looking way better than mine. That's why I gotta wear hats. All right, we moving along. We got one more poet we're gonna go to for New York City, and then we're gonna go to London. And of course, when we go to London, Moetry's gonna introduce not only the poets, but he's gonna introduce the community, say a little bit about them, because you know, that's his community. He knows better than me. And like when me and Mo had spoken, you know, we're gonna give real Nuyorican flavor, and we want Mo and his crowd to give us their real flavor. I'm really excited about it. But we got one more to represent on our side, and that is Mr. Paul Conque. So let me unmute Paul so that the good people can see him. There he is. Paul's having a good hair day as well. Look at the guns, people. He's a model as well. We like to call him our honey trap. It's how we get people to come check out our shows. Paul, let the people know where they can find you online, and then kick your fire, brother.
At Paul Conqueso on IG and Linktree. Honored to be here, honored to share in this space with the newest of Jersey energies, storm gods in the building, bringing blizzards to the East Coast. I'm gonna spit some older shit because I know this is gonna make the time limit. This is called Synecdoche. I let you break me open. I allowed you to crack and suck out my contents like bone marrow. Like a muscle, a mollusk pried from shell, a salt poured slug decomposing out in the open, naked and hopeless. I let you break me like a promise, pinkies sworn hoped to die with fingers crossed behind our backs. Still, you took my wrist and fractured it. Snatched my hand, detached the appendage from its limb and left me with nub, left me numb, reflecting this oculus, oddly watching as I punch the glass and watch it spider web, hanging off its chips, Peter parking car with tailpipe clogged, all the Gwen Stacy himself, without having to ever have fell, a special hell for never bugs who were never loved, that inner Tinkerbell, stomping foot in jealousy and judgment that perhaps I deserve all these threats. I deserve to be left. The dissonance of dissidence gives intent to a kid so intense, not even cognitive behavioral therapist could save his shit, wondering if that miscarriage was my karmic debt for being so paternally overjoyed and then petrified, for diffidence of loving an accident like my parents did, well aware his existence was of no intent, that the lack of progesterone was perhaps protecting my future kin, knowing I hadn't yet done the necessary healing of my inner kid, fear of abandonment swelling like black streets. Don't leave girl, threatening every partner with that well-worn needle and thread quilts of trauma patchworking. If you take your love away from me, I'll go crazy, I'll go insane. Ironically causing me to sabotage and abandon every well-intended thing with hopes for wings, sprinkling fairy dust upon hopeful partners. But sometimes I stalemate with frail mates who can't equate my trauma today with what happened when I was 8. And listen, I was 8. I was only 8. And say what you need, but a piece of me stayed forever stuck in that day, a Sisyphean journey, forever rolling the boulder of blame back on my tiny child-shouldered frame. Just this once, though, I don't fancy myself Peter Pan, but rather the crocodile and ticking clock swallowed along with Hook's hand. Save the trauma for your mama and all that they said. But my mom died while I was throwing a party, trying to impress some girl. And so my creator passed quietly in the night, alone, when my sister could have been home to notice, to pump breath through her airways or send an ambulance so she still might be alive today. But instead, you know, there were Jello shots and King's Cup played, and that girl never even came. So what was the point of it all, really? Am I just living, trying to outrun my own blood clot mislodging itself from my calf to lung, slipping the tongue to reach second base on third date, between death and fate, afraid my heart might stop, like Titi, Tiu, or Grandma Ann, my matriarchal metronome of death's right hand, clutching left side of breath, a neverland breath, telling me not to rest, not to sleep, not to land, as if to die in some fiery wreck or pirate ship capsizes, captains necrotized, boys desiring to touch the sky, as she touches thigh, pulls me into the long hand's grip, the clock, it ticks, it talks, but those who's afraid of an old dead croc trying to tread this deep end, but it all depends on defense mechanisms. Am I not swimming, taking on water? Maybe I sing so much to avoid oral thrush or facing heaviness of my most anvilish thought side to ankle, perhaps the logical flaw. My own plank walk is I don't know how to deal with feeling whole when my entire existence has been in survival mode. It's so hard to be a healing being, seeing myself only as anxious, bulimic, crocodile deeming depression as the demon, self-harming addict, making his marks inside a back throat rather than arm. But I must caution not to be some figure of speech who might identify with me and be a synecdoche half expectedly. Instead, I'd rather have my story be a metonymy for getting better eventually, the clean slate of a fairy tale ending I can break, rewriting blank pages, walking plank to find my fate. So I hold my nose, I close my eyes, walking blind off diving board, cognizant I might sink, I might float, or perhaps I might just fly, might just live long enough to fill this slate with the story of my still fucking being here. Is that not the happiest thought that there is?
Ooh, let's get some finger snaps in the camera for that man, Paul con queso. You know, like I always tell people when it comes to poetry, right? You can write about whatever you want, but the people appreciate the bravery when you allow yourself to be that vulnerable. One more time, let me unmute Paul con queso. Paul, let the people know where they can follow you online. Get back in camera one more time. You almost done. Quickly let the people know where they can find you online again, Paul.
At Paul con queso on IG and Linktree. I'm gonna be doing Beatniks with La Bruja on Wednesday. So come through and watch that. I appreciate y'all. Nuyo is home. Nuyo is home.
Love you, Paul. Paul con queso. Make sure that you go and give that man a follow. Whew. He cut a vein in his soul and he let it spill out. All right. Nuyo represented well. I love my poets. But now I'm excited to hear what London's going on. So we are going to pass it over to Mo. If Liam and Gavin can unmute the London side so we can hear that sweet, sultry voice of Mo. Mo, you there?
Hello? Hey. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. We ready for your fire. We ready.
London, can we just make some noise? That's how we do it over here, mate. All right, right. So, let's get this mic. Good evening, good evening. My name's Mo. This event is called Moetry. A lot of guys have been here before. Who's been here before? Who's popping that Moetry cherry? Nasty boy, I see you. Okay, so basically this is a collaboration between Moetry and Nuyorican Café. It's 2 for 1. As you can see, I'm not sure a lot of people knew what was the concept. So they're getting a piece of us, we're getting a piece of them. So it's like a buffet of poetry for everybody. We're in the beautiful venue, Laylow. Make some noise for the venue. Hey, so quickly, Moetry has been around for 4 years. It's going to be 5 years in May. Moetry actually stands for music and poetry. It also stands for, if you spin it half, Moetry. If you turn it around, it's try more. Our logo. No, you can't try it, but you can. Also, with our logo, we've encapsulated a tree. So Moetry, like more tree, more life, all that stuff. I've done this for a while. So, but less of me, more of them. We've got some amazing poets in the house today. What we've done, we've mixed up some poets that have got quite a bit of experience, and also we've given platform to a lot of poets that have come up to the stage, as in like they've just started writing recently. Because I believe it's about having a mix of talent, so you can all inspire each other, and then you can hopefully grace the stage as well. So, you ready for the first poet? London, we want to make them here in New York. Are you ready for the first poet? Okay, Woodsy's in the house. Make some noise for Woodsy. That's it, okay. So let's kick it off. So the first poet we have today, actually, I'm not sure if you guys know, I do Moetry in Manchester. I started in the summer. This next poet here actually said to me he's going to be in London this weekend. We had a poet actually put out, so this has been a blessing in disguise. Listen, all the way from Manchester, he's called the Thirsty Poet. Don't you know it? Make some noise for Matt coming to rock the stage. He's come from Manchester. You don't come from. Make some noise for Manchester.
Yeah. Hello, New York. Where do you look for New York? Is it there? That camera there. Yes. What's going on? This is mad. I'm Matt. I go by the Thirsty Poet. Thirsty Poet _ on Instagram, and that's my handle. Yes, to being in London for this. This is sick. And thank you, Mo. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this. Oh, mate. Oh. You're the only one who said that to me. So, yeah. I'm going to do a piece. I'm going to blend two pieces together. Basically, why I do what I do, and to the people who said that I wouldn't be able to do what I do, which is quite nice. So, look, I'm not a fighter. I don't fight, but when I do, swords without the S are what I fight with. A pen is my weapon. War scars drawn on skin with a pencil I write with, the battleground marked with evenly spaced lines on an A4 Coliseum. Gladiators. Ready? See, what I write in life echoes in eternity. A scribbled attack on the enemy, tongue-twisted martial artist, to pen the opposition. To live by the words. To die by the words. Look, I don't fight, but when I do, I write to fight for rights, right with passion. Handcrafted like a blacksmith, wordsmith, sculpting instruments made of sharpened lead, a quill in my pen, to riddle with the mind of my opponent. To live by the words. To die by the words. Look, this is for the people who said I'd never amount to nothing. So, I climbed the mountain to get out the depths of something that you made me feel that I couldn't be. I had to prove to me, see between the cracks that lay in front of me that you made appear. Dry my tears, see the sheer cliff face with no fear, no helping hand, no bag of chalk to douse my hands. Then again, you'd never understand. Because I packed my ropes and was ready to scale, desperate to show that I am willing and able, shackled like Shackleton with no chance to fail, no slips, not even a guide rail. I had to achieve. Prove to these who ridicule with ease and tease and drop the kids' self-esteem lower than roots of trees. Because at school I asked too many questions. I was shunned for being easily interested, blessed with the want to learn, the keys to turn, the ability to sit quiet, listen, stern. And no, my focus wasn't always the best it could be. Yeah, but you see me, I was clinging to bigger and better dreams. I had to wear my heart on my sleeve, nobody harnessing me. It seems you teachers couldn't help me. I had to belay my own dreams. And maybe I wanted to learn more than you could teach me. I had to breach these walls so you would reach me, scale the highest heights, push with all my might, free solo, long hard day through tonight with a rucksack packed with all my tools, looking like a fucking pack mule. Isolated in my isolation, 5 minutes late, and what am I supposed to learn? Staring at a wall. Yeah, but all these walls that you put up in front, I had to bear the brunt. When you said that I couldn't, I wanted to call you a... But I couldn't. Because I had to make good of the bad situation, study hard, have self-dedication. My education wasn't all I wanted in life. And no, I was never going to be academic. But those words you say stick, make a kid sick. I had to work my way up quick from the ground up, grappling hooks so it didn't pile and mound up. Scrambling foothold after foothold with no helping hand to hold. The creative in me that you stole. I had to go it alone to the limits to get it back free. Ropes about to snap, pull up that slack. Who did you expect to see me conquer this cliff face? Be where I am today, up and down the UK, doing what I was meant to do in my own way, staring down at that path you didn't want me to take. And week after week, I pass all of the scenery, sat on the trains past the constant greenery through cities that you never thought you'd be seeing. I walked into the wild, and I took a step back and looked at myself as a child. Because I bridged that gap, I broke my back, took up that slack, conquered that vertical crack. Now look where I'm at. Nice one. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
For the Thirsty Poet!
Instagram, The Thirsty Poet _co. The Thirsty Poet _co. In American. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Fucking hell, not thirsty anymore. Yes, thirsty poet. Okay, let's keep it moving. Next artist we have coming to the stage. That's not a selfie. Okay, next artist we have coming to the stage is an artist that's performed at Moetry, I think, one time before. He's new to writing. He's actually always been supporting my event. His delivery is exquisite. He's brought a crew through. He's got hair better than me. You're gonna see. Trust me. Let's make it pop off for a man like Hassan. Come on. Now listen. Don't let these New Yorkers think we don't make noise. Make some noise. See, I told you about the hair. Look.
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Good evening, New York. What's going on? I think I'm louder for the Americans, you know. So I'm normally known for, well, I've been writing recently, and generally it's me having rants about my political beliefs and a few tongue twisters and stuff in there. But today I wanted to keep it quite simple and go for something that is actually a poem I wrote inspired by my affirmations. So been through a tough time the last few years, and this poem really helped me to pick myself up any time that I was feeling a little bit down. And obviously affirmations are very important, especially anybody who's spiritual, to repeat and to keep trying to manifest positive outcomes. So I hope you enjoy it. I am brave. I am strong. I am worthy. I belong. I am focused. I am determined. I am special. I have purpose. I am successful. I am kind. I am present. I am aligned. I am peace. I am fire. I am lucky. I inspire. I am grounded. I am healthy. I am balanced. I am wealthy. I am grateful. I am caring. I am magical. I am sharing. I am abundance. I am joy. I am a girl. I am a boy. I am courage. I am knowledge. I am rising. I am a forest. I am spirit. I am air. I am earth. I am everywhere. I am the sun. I am the stars. I am the moon. I am the dark. I am light. I am love. I am below. I am above. I am the crystals. I am the mountains. I am water. I am a fountain. I am the truth. I am the lies. I am real. I am a disguise. I am you. You are me. We are one in unity. We go on, two as one, left and right, walk or run. We are thunder. We are lightning. We are ascending, and we are enlightening. We are together, and we are apart. We're at the finish, and we're at the start. We go on. We are strong. We are love. We are one. Thank you very much. My Instagram is HASS_J_. And thanks very much for listening, everyone. Thank you, New York, as well.
Yes. You are He's like, I am this, I am that. Yes. I am Mo. He is Hassan. He is the motherfucking man. I got past still. Trust me. Okay, so next artist we got coming to the stage. Let's make some noise for the newcomers coming in. Come on. Late crew. I'm joking, it's cool. So the next artist we got coming to the stage. I've been very privileged in my journey on Moetry to meet a lot of people who make the start, the artists, but they've all grown into friends. It's amazing to watch the journey of them growing, and especially the enthusiasm a lot of them put in. This next lady here, I call her Hallelujah, but she goes by the name of Holly motherfucking D. No, Holly D. But if she was a rapper, it would be that. But Holly, I can say to her, her work ethic when it comes to performing is amazing. She's travelled all the way down from South fucking End. For New York, that's down by the water, basically. She's always supportive, and it's such amazing time, such amazing opportunity to give this amazing experience. London crew, let's make some noise for Holly D coming through! London crew, let's make some noise for Holly D coming through! Let's make New York know about us, man.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Hey, thank you. Hi everyone. Hello. Hey. I've got two pieces for you. My name's Holly D. I go by hollyd.poetry on social media. So if you like what you hear, give me a follow. Yeah, two small pieces. This first piece is called Duality. The duality I see in me is made up of inspiration and creativity. If you and I sit down to discuss ideas over tea, best believe, like the growing branches of a tree, I'm manifesting for you to see. Just like growth from X-Men, I absorb it through my brainstem. Right now it flows out as poetry through my pen, but let me take you back to a time when I was a dancer and I really hoped it held the answer, but I was only ever telling other people's stories from their hurt to their glories, so I made this choice to find my own voice. I started to ask the who, where, what, why, when, how, and now. I've realised that life flows to a constant rhythm. Everything surrounds me is poetic, creativity is magnetic, and when things get a little bit hectic, I'll take out my pen, find a little piece of zen, and in these times, write my own stories, get lost in my own poetry and rhyme. Thank you. This next piece I'm really excited to share with you. This is my alphabet-inspired piece. It's a bit of a rant about life, politics. They're my own thoughts and views. I hope you enjoy it. This piece is called Help. Are arguing aristocrats actually achieving anything? America's always AWOL. Ableism, austerity, and anti-Semitism are algorithms applied across ages. Angry activists are after acknowledgement and accountability, and apologies always accepted. Actually, Bojo, bye Boris, bugger back behind your Brexit barbecue. Britain's beyond belief. Boys be boys, keep Britain British, borderline bankrupt, basically bullshit. Be bilingual, behold B-boys battling breakbeats, B-girls breaking bias, binary, beguiling ballet boys becoming brave. Be bold, be beautiful, burn, baby burn, beggars can't be choosers, but can create colourful careers. Current crises. Crazy corrupt countries clearly condoning crimes, a continuous car crash causing currency chaos, closeted colonialism, conversion camp compliance, completely criminal charging children, pumping containers and clinging to capsized canoes, cruel, carelessly condemned, come clean. COVID-19, consciously created, covertly covered up. Don't do as I do as I say. Don't go out, do go out, but don't. Devil is in the detail. A disambiguated democracy demonstrated disgracefully a double dose of dogmatic double standards. Does a disowned dog daydream during downtime? Damn if it does, damned if it don't, downright depressing. But don't discriminate, do demonstrate diligence, dream, drive, donate. Excuse England's excuses, an eye for an eye. Elitists everywhere explaining economy exceeds human needs, encouraging illicit engagement. Well, that egg timer's ended. Exhausted exhalation, extreme acceleration, experience enlightenment. Eventually everyone everywhere elevates everyone else's existence. Equality echoes an evergreen ending. Fuck fascism. We are all firefighters fighting furious fires. Furthermore, forget not what we're fighting for. Freedom, feminism, free from fear, full frame focus. Frequent forests, grow to fruit, find figs, firefly, fly far, forget fools, gold and 5G. Governance, a gaggle of geese. Global greed, genocide. God's the only one goading gangs to give up guns. Grow gently, give gratitude, go galvanise, grow greatness, give gifts, go gadget, go ghosts, glow gloriously in heaven. Hearing helicopters hover as horrendous horrors happen. What happens happy to help is his honour to hold high, but won't heed hospital heroes, heat homes, house homeless, know how hunger hurts, or handle humanity's heavy hearts, have humility, help. Thank you so much. Find me on Instagram, Holly, HOLLIEDDEE.poetry. Give me a little follow. Thank you so much.
Make some noise for Holly D, but the South Bank crew, come on. If you didn't know your alphabet, you still got at least half now. Okay, that's our set for now, the London crew. We're passing back over to you. Make some noise for New York. Okay, see what you got.
Loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I wish that right now y'all could see the Zoom chat. It has been blowing up, talking about all these London poets, and y'all got beautiful hair too. Those who know that when I host over here, I love people with beautiful hair. Speaking of which, the next poet representing New York City has beautiful hair and a beautiful beard, and that is the man we call the curly-headed ninny, aka Christian Morant. Christian, it's a pleasure to see you, brother. Let the people know they can find you online. Now let's hear that fire.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to follow Holly, though. But you can find me at Curly-Headed Ninny on Instagram. This first one is called Pink. And just like that, I was swept away. Not by her use of prose or fancy vernacular, although quite exceptional. Rather by the grace in which she holds me, by the time in which we cherish, by the simple fact that her lips alone allow me to know what the color of her favorite frosting tastes like. Pink. To which, of course, only a perfectly procured painting could depict such a visually prodigious and profoundly passionate evening. However, it is not the canvas that captures my gaze, although quite irresistible. It is the breath in her silence, the texture in her touch, the words in which we do not use that unequivocally quenches my quest for an inexplicable connection. Thus, I can't help but whisk her off her feet and into another unexpected frenzy, because that's what she does to me, what she must do to all the boys. With her flutters of falling, flickers of freedom, and the phenomenal sensations of sensuality that seep out of every orifice in our bodies. My God, how I've gone mad over such titillations to which my tongue twists these terms in a taxing attempt to articulate the fantasy that is our fairy tale. And so that's the first one. That one's called Pink. And this next one is called Reflections. And to anybody else out there, please, going through something, use writing as a therapy. Go talk to a therapist or however it resonates with you, like writing does me. Because I've moved past this, but I'm sharing this for anybody who connects with. What do you do when you've lost yourself? When you look to your friends and they're no help? So you sit there staring back at the mirror, wishing the reflection would show you someone who cared, but between all the cracks and the acts that you put on, just to get through the day in a place you know you don't belong, where your life seems wrong and no one sings along to the same tune you've been singing far too long. Try to get them to hear you, but they don't want to get near you, because everything comes crashing down, making them fear you. Whenever someone tries to get close, you just leave a big hole gaping in their heart because you lack the kind of self-control needed to feel a connection longer than sexual attention, even though you mention you're not really into spending much of your time out of line from the goals you have in mind. Yet they get it twisted, expecting things to be different, like I'm gonna switch up my way of living so it benefits them, when they clearly have it all wrong, but somehow it's still my fault. So go ahead and blame me because I've already dropped the ball. with the way my pain likes to play its game, steadily losing with every move I've been choosing, just leaving bruises on the ones who love me, so I have excuses to write another poem on how I'm ignoring everybody around me, soak up the feelings till emotions start pouring from the tip of my pen as you listen to the tears drip in onto the pages where my life ends, because I finally decided to bite the bullet and write it, no longer fighting for life that don't give a fuck about me dying. Thank you.
Christian Morant, the curly-headed ninny, the man with the beautiful poems and the beautiful hair and the beautiful beard. One more time, brother, let the people know where they can find you online.
You can find me at curly-headed ninny on Instagram, man. I'm looking forward to getting back with you guys in person soon. Woo!
Thank you, brother Christian, curly-headed ninny. Also, if you were digging that hoodie of his, make sure you go give him a follow, and you could go cop it. Look how beautiful that is. I love it. I love it. It pops. It pops. All right, let's continue on. Next coming up, I did not know that London was going to give us a Holly, and she was wonderful, by the way. The chat here on Zoom was blowing up. But we also have a Holly of our own to come and represent, and that is Holly Googe. There she is. Holly, let the people know they can find you online. Oh, I read it. Look at that big, beautiful smile. I love it. Let the people know they can find you online, and it's your turn to share that fire, sis. Good to see you.
All right. Good to see you. What's up, everybody? I'm Holly Googe. Holly like Hollywood, Googe like Google, but no L. My Instagram handle and my Twitter handle is Holly Googe, HOLLYGOOGE. I'm going to read 2 poems today. And the first poem is called Winter Solstice. The season has changed. Fall has passed. It's winter again. Cold, frosty, vapor escapes me. With each breath, each word, fogging my vision, no visibility. But hibernation brings restoration. And innovation is born. It is stone cold and brick as fuck, but quiet storms pass. Midnight oil burns a new path. Darkness swoops in like vultures on a carcass. People slow down, but we don't stop. At least not until that ball drops and champagne bottles go pop. Pop goes the bottles as our calendars turn. Promises of new beginnings, resolutions, and a new life, new love, and new money to burn. Leaving behind the old and stepping into the new, leaving behind toxic relationships, toxic jobs, and hopefully toxic habits too. Yet the high from New Year's has been subdued because we're still in this fucking pandemic. So we hesitate to make resolutions true. I hesitate to dream, to believe that life can be as fruitful, full of promise as it once seemed. Having mourned what opportunities passed and sat with regret over risks I didn't take, I am not sure of what to make of this new version of life. But maybe it's not so bad, and it's the reverse. Winter's a blessing and not a curse. Snowflakes fall and cluster, winds blast nor'easters, blizzards that bring train delays. And we do stop in our own way, so maybe these uncertain times aren't so bad. We can snuggle with hot cocoa, ciders, cookies, and coquitos, savoring the moments because they won't last. Thus, as we adapt and change, while winter blows these storms our way, maybe we just take each moment to play and not lay in wait for things to be as they were in our heyday. Poem. So that's the first one. And my second one is called Flashes of Unrequited Love. Dear heart, lover, soul prospect, if I slipped out of my heels, would you still notice me? Would you light up at my name flashing across your phone screen upon sensing the closeness of my energy? Would you shudder with glee as I'm walking down the street? Do you see me, or am I an illusion, a mere fantasy, a brief fusion of excitement in your world because I'm different? What do you love and what do you like? What do you see in me that's a reflection of yourself? Or are you too buried in materialism, chasing money and big dreams to notice the supernatural essences exuding from our bodies? How long will we ride this bike on this course with exchanges of merriment, fun dates, and long talks, seemingly heaven sent, to resume the next day without commitment? Maybe you're terrified. I get it. The past left you paralyzed. You assume I'm like the others and assume I'll respond as past lovers. Well, I'm not your former, but the current. en route to crash into your ocean only to be blocked by your Hoover Dam. So I rebound and bubble until the steam seeps through the cracks of your facade, oozing through your walls. Baby, why is your pride so tall? And yet your heart seemingly grand. The path to it a whimsical labyrinth encased in wonderland. I long for you, the days where you finally let go, where you look beyond your shell and welcome me into your world. I see glimpses of that glow in your affections, yet it's eclipsed by your fears and visible by the traces of old tears. N'importe quoi, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé, je t'attendrai, jusque tu me verrais comme je te vois, mais peut-être tu ne me verras jamais. Poem.
Holly Gooch! Bringing up the French there. I didn't even expect that. That's what's up. I love it. I love it, Holly. One more time, please let the people know where they can find you online.
You can find me on everything. My handle is Holly Googe, HOLLYGOOGE, Twitter and Instagram. Holly Googe.
Holly, thank you so much. I love her beautiful smile and poetry. Holly Googe, make sure that you go and give her a follow. Okay, so we're going to go back to London real quick. Right before we go back to London, I see people blowing it up on Facebook. Shout out to Tanisha Jacob. I see you giving us love. Also, we are on YouTube. Shout out to La Bruja, who is not only the host of our Thursday night online open mic and the host of the Beatniks and whatnot. She is the new executive director at the Nuyorican Poets Café. I'm excited to have her on and doing that. So much goodies coming up. Also, we are really good on time. So maybe if we have some extra time later, we can hear from an extra poet from London, extra poet from New York City, maybe. Nonetheless, let's get back to London. All right. Liam, we are ready to unmute you guys and hear Mo again. Oh, and by the way, Mo, the people on Zoom, they love your voice. They loving your accent. They're loving it. All right, Liam, we need to unmute on that end, so we can, there we go. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay, London crew are back in the house. Let's make them know about us. Make some noise. That's what I'm fucking saying, mate. That means that's what I'm saying. Okay, you not enjoying the show? Yeah. You love it, Laylow? Yeah. My name is Mo. So, okay, we keep it moving. Next artist we got coming to the stage. If you talk, I'll say your name. Always works. Okay. Next artist we got coming to the stage tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's a family affair. He's brought his mum and dad. Make some noise for mum and dad to play. Make some noise that your mum and dad coming. Make some noise. Right. Okay. Like I said, the next artist we have here, he's actually first started performing when first time at Moetry was that you first started performing? June. Get popping for June. He actually is a June. No, basically, he was brought to my attention through a friend of mine that was part of the Moetry team, Hillary, and basically from coming to Moetry, I think that further inspired him. He's actually an English teacher and what else? Oh, hey papi, Spanish teacher. Hey papi. Hey. I'm gonna stop now. Okay, so like I said, it's so amazing when you see people that they start their journey at Moetry, and so when you see him perform, a lot of people think that he's been doing it for a long time. He hasn't. It's always good to speak to people like this. He can explain to you about his journey and what's inspired him and what motivates him to keep doing what he does. He's one of the most hungriest poets. Like, he will not stop getting onto me to perform, and I love it because his determination is what drives him to elevation. Come on, fuck it today. Fuck it. Hear that? That's what we're doing over here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Casey in the building. Look, you got 3 seconds up. You do that for me, it's my event. Is that me? Hold on. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, New York. Disclaimer, there's a reference to British Bake Off. That's a baking program. It's not that important. Another disclaimer, the word skank, I'm referring to dancing, mainly for mum and dad. I would never refer to a woman in that way. And just thank you to Mo, and thank you to a lot of people in this room. There's a lot of people in this room, friends, family, poetry family, who are a big inspiration, so thank you. It's for all the people that love a good dance. This is an ode to the dance floor, where we leave blank inhibitions, bass rumbles on like Concord, souls ignite the skank ignition. So get ready for takeoff, this shit's hotter than bake-off. Burn one up in the queue before the drop-off, the bass. Set to be off my face in about 2 hours, party venue immersion, please. Devour me, shower thee with control mixer technologies. When I dance, so free. Rhythm is a dancer, it makes me sway like a tree. And then a bump hits, and I'm stumped. Mind's in bits, floor swallowing me up, don't lose the plot. Me quivers in the bassy breeze. Body starts to shiver and I unfreeze. I'm throwing shapes and popping at the front. Bumping shoulders of everyone, we take the brunt. Strobe like fast, keep pumping, stay in the hunt, keep raving. Don't drop the pace, we're misbehaving when suddenly by grace the perfect popping pixie appears. She's elevating me higher, so free to be frank. I don't believe the smile she shoots me mid-skank. This girl is fire. True story. Connection through dance is a marvel, so take a chance. Non-verbal communication, spiritual manifestation, soaring through this laser-lit dimension together. Vibe lines intertwine on the bass line, feels so fine. We're transcending towards the divine. So rock the Casbah and burn the house down. Yes, we're going this far. Don't throw no frown. I want to see your bass face. I want to see you run the skanky race. Leave no trace, question or case that you didn't leave every drop of energy that you've got in this place. Still time till sunrise, no heading for the door. D floor comprised, the pinging hours ready for more. Sorry, Wanda. Sometimes in a rave you can feel turbulence, so unbuckle your seatbelts for max disturbance. Flashing lights on a flight path of movement, dancing together is a portal to social improvement. Therefore, I keep shape-shifting and well into twitching, pump up fisting, ready for the twist from the DJ, MC or selector. Sensory takeover, all angles and vectors. If you're a raver, you never quite understand. We're coming into land, how a bass line makes me feel. Pull up the plane, but I will not heal. 747 steps, crimping on my heels. Ecstasy and dance helps me keep it real. So, mow the lawn, pizza in the oven, do the cheerleading, hands up to heaven, high knees to side steps, feeling creme fresh in my dancing crepes. Everyone's got their best moves on the show, throwing out their innate moves in tow. When everyone's on a vibe, it flows, vision opaque, eyes shut, let's go. This is an ode to the dance floor, where we leave blank inhibitions, bass rumbles on like Concord, souls ignite the skank ignition. Thank you.
Yeah. Raving crew, make some noise, ravers. And you know what? Oh my God, I'm proud. He's not even my kid. I'm proud. Hey! He's got the moves like daddy. There you go. I see them little snakeheads. I'm like, come on, baby. I'll get in hospital if I do that. But, okay, next artist we've got coming to the stage. There you go. Okay. Bad man, tell him. Okay, next artist we've got coming to the stage. She formally refers to me as Uncle. I call her Nisi. She actually has started performing, I think, when we was doing Moetry, we had a thing called Moetry Secret Sessions. Basically, illegal poetry shows. For the best ones, the stuff top boy, you can tell Boris, he's doing it anyway. So basically, so we had this concept called Moetry Secret Sessions. It was in a warehouse in Dalston. And the idea was we had to make people like wait round the corner, basically like smuggling them in, didn't we? Yeah, it was sick, wasn't it? Yeah, like this. One of my friends got like a warehouse space. It's like this, but just a warehouse space basically. It's got a nightclub downstairs, like it's like Narnia in Dalston, basically. You know what I mean? So this artist here, when she came to Moetry, and one thing I think is important when people come to events like this is about trying to understand them and see what fears they have and reassure them. And I always say to people, if you come to Moetry and you're unsure about performing, I guarantee you're going to want to do it after when you feel the love in the room. Is there love in the room? Yeah! Is there love in the room? Yeah! That's for you, New York. Yeah, so without further ado, it makes me so proud because she's grown so much over the time she started performing as a poet. Let's make some noise for Melody coming through. Oh, listen. This is London, this is Laylow. Let's make some noise for Melody coming through. Melody coming through with the see-through. Yes, girl.
Hello, it's really nice to be here. Nice and intimate. Hello, America. I don't know where you are. Is it that way? I can't believe I have to follow Casey like that as well. That was incredible. I'm going to change the vibe. I'm going to write a piece called Duality. Sorry, speak a piece called Duality. And I always see life as a path. So sometimes you're in sunshine and sometimes you go through dark tunnels. And I wrote this piece after I came out of a bit of a dark tunnel. I clicked the switch in my head again. Like a light switching from off to on, my light went from weak to strong. I switched my focus from right to wrong. I'm going to start that again. I knew that tequila shot was a bad idea. I clicked the switch in my head again. Like a light switching from off to on, my light went from weak to strong. I switched my focus from right to wrong. I stopped the. Oh my God, what is happening? No, I'm not doing that. Okay. I clicked the switch in my head again. Like a light switching from off to on, my light went from weak to strong. I switched my focus from lies to truth. I stopped the mental abuse that I was inflicting on myself. I turned to look at what I have rather than stare at what I lack. This moved me into a place of gratitude and away from a place of attack. I was in a dark place and trying to see clearly. Luckily, light shines through cracks, and I could find some within my intrusive thoughts. The intruders run at the side of a torch, and so shining this meant that I could connect back to source. It meant that I could see my sources are always there to resource me. Friendship, family. I don't know what I'd do without these bonds that guarantee that I move on from places that aren't good to stay in too long. I remember a time where I found it harder for my light to shine, and I realize now that it's because I accepted being lonely. I accepted not liking most others because really I didn't like parts of myself, and I think that all I really knew was darkness, despite there being lots of light in the world. I think we all need help. And we all need connection to self, but that connection leads to connections with others, as we're all one and reflections of each other. So if we can only meet others as deeply as we know ourselves, then the more we know ourselves, the more deeply we meet others. Does that make our connections authentic when we call each other sisters and brothers? Because these connections for me have now extended outside of my blood family as my family tree grows with me. As my roots have extended deeper into the ground with every inch of awareness I have shone on my shadow, as have my branches branched outwards, intertwining in love with the people I encounter. You cannot love others unless you love yourself. And you cannot love yourself without uncovering all the things you've hidden under the grounds of shame and guilt. Until we look at ourselves as whole and not only focus on what grows, but what is rotting. We won't be able to heal, as healing is remembering all that was forgotten. Healing is rerouting our paths to ones of unity and promise. Digging deeper into ourselves so we can create from a place of beauty and of knowledge. All of our answers lie within us. Like an ancient oak, our souls hold memories of old, our spirits carrying all the things we need to know. The secret is to listen. Like trees whisper in the wind, our soul sings when we do things that feed its purpose. And we all have purpose. And when we purposefully move through life and vibrate in love and light, we can exterminate fear and strife within places of turmoil. Our branches may sometimes break away, but what's lost only creates more space for flowers to grow. These flowers spread seeds with the help of bees, as do we with the help of each other. So if we heal ourselves, we can help heal one another. And in turn the earth, because that's our fucking mother. And I know it ain't always as easy as clicking a switch. But with observation, we can accept duality for what it is. Nature at its finest.
Make some noise for Nicia Mother Nature! You know what? Right. Tell them how to define.
So it's Melody, MELODI.maker on Instagram. And thank you for your patience. I've never stuttered like that before.
Blame it on the alcohol. Make some noise for Melody coming through, making it happen. I'm not sure if some of you have noticed, but there's been a lot of references to trees, branches. Just want to say, Moetry, thanks you. Okay. Another what? A shot. I think another shot. Okay. Let's make some noise for New York. No, I've got no more bars. Right. Okay, next artist we got coming through. Now, this artist here, he's quite experienced. He's part of a collective which I know as the Flow Poets. Yes. Actually met this gentleman here coming down to my event. He's been so supportive. Even when I've gone out of London, he's come with me to Leeds, Manchester. He's come South London, East London. He's anything I want to do. He's so behind it. He's always supporting the movement. He's actually performed one of his biggest claims to fame. He actually opened up the Skyboxing event for Chris Eubank. That was over 1 million people. Make some noise for that. So, without further ado, let's make some motherfucking noise for Wordz coming through. But if they don't make some more noise, barman, close the bar. Make some noise for Wordz coming through. What happened to Dry January? Of course.
Moetry, how are we feeling? We good?
Are we feeling good?
Cool. So Melody finished on a piece to do with Mother Nature, so I'm going to stay on that kind of tone. I have a piece that I've recently did. I did it at the end of last year for TEDx. So I have a TEDx talk coming out in like a week's time, so stay tuned for it. So this is the piece that I wrote for it. It's about global warming and...
People talking with full names?
Cool. So yeah, it's about global warming. It's about Mother Nature. The poem is called Dear Mum, so I hope you enjoy it. Dear Mum, I'm writing again. Here's a letter to you and a line for a friend. We've been trying to be better, but it all feels a little too late now. The earth shouldn't have to quake before the human race has a breakdown. Not all of mankind are kind men. I've spent my greatest moments walking in your garden. Thoughts tangled talking to trees like I'm Tarzan. Fasten your seatbelts. Turn off your engines as penguins see seat melt. This is not a happy feat or the joke on the back of a rapper. It's a little bit of hope despite the lack of a ladder. We try to climb it as climate changes. We might just find it's more than time we wasted. You can't just destroy your home and hope to escape its self-destruction. We need help to function. Change our ways for today's adjustments. I just meant to check in and see how you're doing. See, I am just one of your billion children. So tell us, Gaia, Mother Earth, as we might not listen to others' words, I hope our sisters and brothers and others learn to take care of the world and what you have birthed. Seeds that were planted are now trees that have branches. Take away E and H as earth is where art is. Rearrange the letters as home is where the heart is. You are the artist. We are just creatures created on your canvas. A universe city, we are on your campus. Humans belong in nature, so why is it considered human nature to not take care of our planet? How much longer can we manage? Maybe 5p is too much to pay for all of our baggage. So let me tell you what we need. Oxygen from trees, we need that to breathe. We've already lost 80% of our forest, and we all lack knowledge. Once we run out of air, maybe then we'll acknowledge that we are all trees. You and them and us and me. We are the stream leading to the sea. Streaming our songs, singing of our root and our roots and where we belong. Do not let your roots define your root. You should use your roots to find your root. So put down your map, turn off your phone, open your heart but keep your eyes closed. Breathe that in. Feel that power. You are that flower that bloomed in a dark room once you put trust in yourself. You are that poetic justice. Just trust it and love yourself. Once you take in that water and sunlight, you'll blossom. No forbidden fruits or forgotten truths. You are that garden of reason, so rise up. Bask in the sun's rays. Plant those seeds of belief that you can believe in and be proud of one day and for all days thereafter. From the roots of love to a gathering of flowers. We always say give people their flowers. On Mother's Day, we give flowers. As you spin so gracefully on your axis, we practice these actions to stay balanced. You bring us day and night, rain and light, a way of life, learning lessons, loose lips, let lullabies flutter by like butterflies. I wonder why we won't worry when wounding our world. I don't mean to sound bitter, but I feel like if Mother Nature had Twitter, she would be like, who on earth are you acting, bruh? Save it. I wish we could all see the world through the eyes of Sir David Attenborough. You would never want to cause harm to your mother. So why do we not seem to care as we see her suffer? I said, I'm sorry, Mama. We never meant to hurt you. We never meant to make you cry, but tonight. Thank you, Moetry. I'm Woodzy.
Make some noise for fucking Woodsy. Right. So you can find them at Woodzygram. At WOODZYGRA Mizzy. Right? Woodzygram. You want hoodies? You want Woodsy? It's all on show. You can have it. Make some noise for Woodsy. Okay. New York, how you feeling it? You liking it? Let's see some thumbs.
I'm loving it right now when I'm hearing over in London. The only issue is I wish that all of you could see what's going on in Zoom, all of the things that the people are saying about the poets over there. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to download the Zoom chat so that I can send it over to Mo so everyone in London can see what the people are saying. They are loving it. I'm loving it. Also, what I'd like to do, because we aren't in the cafe, but everyone I hear is in Zoom, I'm going to ask to unmute everyone on Zoom right now so we can make some noise so London can hear us. Make some noise.
We don't let go.
What up,
London rap.
I think the people are very happy with London and the poets there. I'm excited about it. Like I said, I'm going to download the chat so that I can send it over to Mo. I'm also going to hit up Mo so that I can make sure I get everyone's social media handles so that I can pass it off to the people in my community. And I'm going to get everyone who's rocked with New York City. I'm going to send it over to Mo so we can get that into your hands. I want to give a quick shout out to the assistant producer over here on the New York City side. And that's my man, Ron Mark Thompson. We like to call him the sung hero of this community. He does so much work behind the scenes. I'd also like to give a shout out to Jason Quinones for getting the Zoom started for us. And before we go to our three poets, I wanted to give a moment for our executive producer, Mariella Salazar, to say a few words. So, Mariella, if you could unmute yourself and I will spotlight you. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Hey, London. I'm so sad that I can't be there. I am currently stuck in this blizzard in New York. But as you can tell, I think I'm very much still from London. So hi, everyone. I just wanted to thank Laylow, especially Taz and Johnny for creating such an incredible venue and space that's welcomed us today. I called up Plum and I basically said, hey, Plum, we'd like to come up with this concept called Two Venues, One Mic, bringing together two great venues from New York and London. And she said, great, you can have it for free. Come along. So thank you so much, Laylow. Just in brief, it's a members club that's north of Notting Hill that's welcomed some esteemed musicians and legends of British rock and roll. But it's been so much more than that, especially during the pandemic. It's helped resident artists around the London community. It's provided them with an event space, a music space, you know, recording studios. And I've seen some very spectacular performances there. So it's really such an honor to be able to have Two Venues, One Mic at Laylow and have it with Moetry as well. I want to thank Nina as well, who is meant to be around to do our sound, but she sort of passed on the wings to Liam and to Gavin, who are over there in London helping us out. And obviously I want to thank Mo, who trusted in this concept as well, and who I reached out to around October and November. So this is a long time coming. Thank you, Mo, for your patience and your dedication and for, you know, sharing your wonderful community with everyone. We're having such a great time right now. And of course, Advocate of Wordz, for believing in 2-1 and for just being Advocate of Wordz. So thank you everyone for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful time. I'm having a great time, so thank you.
Mariella Salazar, our executive producer, who was the glue for this, made it happen, brought together the Nuyorican Poets Café and Moetry. All right, let's get back into the poetry. Next coming up, we have a woman representing, oh wait, I don't see her here on Zoom. Did she leave? Wait, everyone's pointing to, oh no, oh, because she changed her name. La Tormenta, representing the Bronx, representing Oakland as well. If you know anything about America, Oakland and the Bronx are some badass parts of town. And this woman is a badass poet. She will cut you with a compliment. La Tormenta, aka Amanda Ashley Villanueva. Amanda, let the people know they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire, sis. It's a pleasure to see you as always.
It's a pleasure to be here. What's up, London? My name is Amanda Ashley Villanueva. I am a poet from the boogie down fucking Bronx. It's about to get real stormy up in here because La Tormenta translates to the storm in Spanish. And ironically, the two poets reading after me are rather stormy themselves. So I'll get into my pieces. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Amanda Ashley Villanueva. I have some old shit and some new shit. The first thing I'm gonna read, I went to cooking school in Italy a few years back. So this piece is a tribute to that. Si yo fuera postre, if I were dessert, 1/2 flan, 1/2 bizcocho chocolate, con un chin de café, always burning your tongue, always hotter than expected, always creamier than perfected, always waiting for you, with the sweetest, sensual sense of a Puerto Rican bakery. This Aries tastes like the darkest cherry, on top of a piña colada melted into mango butter, on a turquoise beach, with African jazz whistling like white noise, toys wrapped in a nutmeg hazelnut hammock above a ground of raspberry rosemary cheesecake, toes deep in snickerdoodle sand. Papi, please pass me a fan. And then take a pause, because a foster of banana pumpkin pie drowned in dulce de tres leche rests in my temple trunk, rest waiting just for us. Next piece is some new shit. I wrote it this morning. When I found out the Advocate asked me to come here, I wanted to come with some fresh shit. So, when a little girl has a big mouth, after J.P. Howard's I Am Good at Secrets. A stereotype will have a signature of something familiar, but will still beg to go outside and cry. There isn't pride wide enough to hide such contrast, such contradiction. Before my body could recognize its size, my mouth grew loud for the streets to memorize. No surprise then. Secrets rattled me up from the inside, like snakes slurping for supper on my organs, like a fortune of tellers cursing me out till I said something. I am bad at secrets. Eventually, I share them with the mango skies above me, offer them to palm trees. Eventually, I want everything swept under the rug, spread above my cherry wood table with a scorching black cup of coffee, my way of spilling tea. Eventually, my hair grows full of secrets with emerald eyes blind. Eventually, I make mockery of your time and trust in me. Eventually, I am a shattered mirror with 7 years bad luck knocking on your gums, even when you've done everything to brush me out. I am bad at secrets. Now dare ask yourself why you place your faith in a thing that never learned how to pray. I am bad at secrets. Thank you.
Amanda, Ashley, me, I know have everyone put some finger snaps in your webcam fund. This woman's off the hook. I love it. Wait. You muted yourself too quickly, Amanda. Unmute yourself one more time. Let the good people know where they can find you to follow you and not share secrets, just to follow you. Where can they follow you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. My Instagram handle is Villanovelle, VILLENOVELLE, because I'm your favorite villain. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Amanda, representing the Bronx and Oakland. I love this woman's poetry. I love her flow, all of it. Also, I forgot to say, I wanted to shout out Casey's mom and dad. I love when people make it in a family affair. I love the fact that Mo took the time to shout them out. So I want to give some extra shouts to Casey's mom and dad. I am all about it. And of course, Casey too. I was dancing over here. I love it. Some of our people in our community do a karaoke night as well, Casey. You and your mom and dad are, of course, welcome to that as well. We'll connect with the community. We'll make that happen. But let's keep it moving. Next coming up, here's this man. Right, the blizzard had shut the cafe, but we kept it going. But this man had flown all the way in from Cali to be part of this show. So it was a lot of heartbreak over here and when we couldn't be able to open up the cafe. And I thought about this dude making this trek from the West Coast to come here, but I am so excited to have him. And that is my brother, Elemental. Elemental, it is a pleasure to see you and have you rocking with us. You are looking fly as hell, man. Let the people know where they can find you online and then give us that fire. We ready for it.
Yo, Advocate, I appreciate you, man. London, big up. What's happening? Look, to every poet who came before me, y'all are absolutely fire, 100% heat. I truly appreciate all of that energy. And to Thunderlung, who comes after me, I know she's going to kill it. So I appreciate all y'all. I apologize for bringing the blizzard, but you know what storm gods in the building do. So this is new, man. This is called The Devil is a Lie. How do you break silence When deaf ears are targets of righteous words by fearless few and dialects of original tribes turn outcast, cast out by precedents of presidents who build walls and wars as cures for discords in place of resources toward upward mobility and deficiencies in education. But what do they care? Perched in lofty towers in social caste systems of illusion, corrupted constitution, amended by reconstructed false promises, soaked in draconian logic that make no sense. No sense. I mean, no sense at all. Heimdall to Skyfall, double O dangerous on both sides of the pond. It's a bond that never dies like tomorrow. Authentically gruesome in every century, monarchy turned colostomy, make feces of treaties and call it unrest in the order of civil disobedience across generations and throw the minimum mandatory sentences and sins of invisible men like Ralph Ellison penmanship with proper etiquette when disrespecting your masters or oppressors, overseeing officer involved mauling after mauling after mauling with greedy grin on 10 badges and uniforms that reek of arrogance and malicious intent and stench of murderous mishaps written in apex accents, circling, patrolling, circling chaos theories. No wonder our communities can't get no sleep because cold corners don't make money, baby. Gotta keep blocks hot as fish grease on Southern Sunday afternoons just after church, amen? All prayed up, all paid up like dues and ties to soothe the riots of people just trying to survive, scratching out a living with nickels and dimes, paying for dollars and bridges over troubled waters for hypersexualized daughters and sons whose skin is seen far before content of character can be assessed. Where? Nowhere is safe for 1619 project rejects when staring down crude barrels of genocide and safe spaces of colorblind retrospect that seek to counterfeit your identity. I mean ability to transform Optimus Prime directive of work, obey, and stay in your lane to something more nourishing for the people actually working and hustling, shuffling bills, robbing Peter to pay Paul and Mary Jane. So I write for it and I fight for it like a good revolutionary should. Kimbo Slice on this mic with knockout power in both lungs, speaking in the tongues of war drum patterns to ensure this thunderous message finds its way home before the lightning strikes your consciousness. This red pill fire igniter, child of war-torn cipher standing here, right here, because giants paid the ultimate cost for freedom in this place we call home, singing warriors, songs and psalms of redemption and retribution or revolution, screaming your basta from every rooftop. You couldn't stop us if you tried, motherfucker, because the devil is a lie. And we know the truth. The devil is a lie. And we are the proof. Peace.
Oh, my man, Elemental bringing the fire as always. Love this dude. Elemental, I appreciate you, man. Of course, as you see, some of our members teamed up in their house for the Blizzard together to hang out. Elemental, let the people know one more time where they can find you online.
Yo, elemental.com, where you can find me. Men Who Heal, Sound from the Underground, Poetry Global Network, like plug in, man. The Nuyorican Poets Café, shout out Moetry, shout out London, shout out the best host in the Zoom verse, Advocate of Wordz, that's with a Z, you know, because poetic license, what, that dude is the business. Shout out Advocate, Mariella, peace.
My man Elemental, make sure you go check out his website, elemental.com. When you spell that, you take the T out and you put the 2 in. So I got one more poet representing the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and then we're going back to Mo to close it out with a couple of poets. Who knows? Maybe we'll have time. We'll get Mo to share a poem. Maybe I'll share a poem, only if we have time. But I don't know. Right now, it has been fire. I've thoroughly been enjoying myself. Next coming up, as you heard people mention, we like to call her Thunderlung. Oh wait, I went to unmute the wrong person. There we go. We like to call her Thunderlung. When you hear her opening, she's going to be super polite with everyone. You know, she's gonna have a very nice soft voice, but she is going to bring it. All right, so I'm just letting you know, Casey's mom and dad. I'm just letting you know, and do not let her polite voice fool you. She's gonna bring it, and that is Ray Jane. Ray, it is great to see you as always. You're looking beautiful as always. Please let the good people of the internet and the Nuyorican and London know where they can find you online. And then let's get that heat. We ready for it.
What's up? As Advocate said, my name is Ray Jane. Thank you, Advocate. Thank you, Nuyorican. Thank you, Laylow. Thank you, Moetry. Thank you all for the gift of your attention. I hope to share something with you. It's brand new. If you like what you can hear, you can follow me at itsrayjane.com. That's itsrayjane.com. Don't mind my chimes. That's just my ancestors with me. It's a blizzard outside, for those of you who don't know what's going on in New York. So I hope to bring you something equally as moving. This is entitled Mobb Deep. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Caught you with my people in your mouth, now you shook. Tried to lower our lives, but misunderstood. These feet were never grounded, we were conceived in flight. Grown amongst trees whose purpose was so high, you might die in our canopies. We only bowed to time. Hollow out these mended vessels for our ancestors, but then colonizers got in line. Coked up your forefathers and snatched mine. But my mob deep seas, so we chose to speak, be so real, but we could mime. And the messages wouldn't get lost. Keep up, don't get tired of protesting the shittle spit of the illiterate detachment of proletariat. The crooks storm your privilege, have you shook? No time to lie, no time to pander for favorable looks. It took so long to fight like this, we overcooked. The rich been burning our gifts and grits been so hot by hook or crook. So we rewrite history, we scrap the books. Decolonize the mind, return what they took. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Caught you with my people in your mouth, now you shook. We know you won't return all you plundered, all you took. Mistook us for free, now you're bet in your debt, pouring out your crannies, the truth seeping out your nooks. Anxiety of these kings and queens, God's spirit resurrecting, got you popping zannies, my mob deep sea, and won't hesitate, stay down, chasing your fanny to the bank while you sleep. We vault until your vaults swing open. Spirits can't be contained by inherently porous things, confine us by our skin while you imbue centuries of terror in our offspring. But the privilege to be can never be a lost thing. So we build over your boundaries, we loft in, throwing shade on whatever you claim it's costing. We are old, more than what has been tabulated since the tablets of Moses. We are old. No Red Sea could part us from how you divided us. Weeping, we sweeping the carnage you left us to pick up. We are old. We are old. Respect, acknowledgement of neglect, a hand up to the downtrodden. No more excuses, no more lies, no more political parties to disguise the demise of our voting rights. We are old. Open up your eyes. They are taking back the prize that MLK lost his life for. Much more like the Malcolm than X'd in boxes. African American, we are black, we all that, and we are old. And with the books tilted so far to the right, we have to fight to bring back balance, to indict, to charge, referring to the wicked and the whole view of the light. Time to pick a side, because ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. And that's true for you too, if you remain unaligned. Thank you.
Ray J, bringing that fire as always, the thunder lung. Ray, thank you for rocking out with us one more time. Let the good people know where they can find you online.
I appreciate you for listening, allowing me to be myself. You can find me at itsrayjane.com. That's itsrayjane.com. And it's Ray Jane on Facebook and Instagram as well. Peace to you.
Thank you, Ray J. Make sure you go give her a follow. She also hosts her own show at the last Friday of the month, Freestyle Fridays. Make sure you go and you check it out. So, those are all the poets from New York City, Nuyorican. One more time, I'm going to ask the Zoom people to unmute themselves and make some noise for everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. Jane killed that shit. Jane killed that shit.
Oh, we are not done. We are just finished with the New York City poets because now we're going back to London because Mo got some more people for us to rock out to. Mo, go ahead. Let's unmute London so that we can hear Mo one more time.
London, let's make some noise. I want to give a big shout out to Advocate and Mariella for making this thing happen. Like I said, they're one of the biggest poetry artists in America, so for them to have faith and put this thing together with us, we ain't gonna let no blizzard stop the show. And like you said, the show must go on. Shout out to all the sick artists over there. See, look, man, doing a bow up there, I like that, right? Shout out to Laylow and the bar staff. Most importantly, shout out Mum and Dad. Okay, so we've got a last couple poets to perform here now. Unfortunately, one or two poets did pull out last minute, and amazingly, I think sometimes one door closes, another one opens. A loss is not a loss; it's just a lesson, a blessing. And right now, we're about to win from within. I know, you like this shit now. Okay, so. The next artist will come into the stage, Melody, is a friend of Melody's who's actually got a ticket to come down last minute. So when I heard that she was coming down, I asked if you'd mind coming and stepping in and performing, and she's politely said yes. So making her Moetry debut, not only at Laylow. Okay, we've got Lion King in here. We're wet, no, we ain't gonna do that. Okay, so. Because my teeth. Mum and Dad, you're gonna have to go and sort these kids out. Alright, cool. That's it. Respect the MUM, yeah? Cool. Right, so we've got two more poets officially. We do have a little bit more time, so I'm gonna pull some rabbits out of the hats. I just see one now. Hey, rabbit. So I think it's only right. We're here till 9 officially. We've got 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So we've got two poets. We might try and squeeze one more person in. Without further ado, Jazzy come through. See if it makes happen.
I'm taller than this, one sec. The amount of shit that we endure in the name of love, unreal. Yeah. The levels of disrespect that I have allowed has left pieces of me unhealed. It's like there's these red rivers in me, and the banks edge empty fields, and then there's all these low bridges in me, where all the blood gets congealed. I have crammed myself into spaces that were unfit for me, allowed myself to get distracted by people who never planned to stick with me, the nitpicker, the shit fucker, the one who proclaimed his unwavering love for me, but where is he? And I don't blame them. How can anyone love another when the other is so wrapped up in their own mess? I've got undying love for my mother, and her needs come before those of any men. And many men, many men wish they could fuck free or pay me to love me in luxury. They tell me the amount of light that I have seen in the frame of love, unreal. The levels of ecstasy in them fleeting moments has left me healed. It's like you've got a helium balloon, and as soon as you let it fly free, it's no longer yours, but you get this undeniable sense of peace. I have broken free from cages, mostly created by me. Learned to love all the corners and all the edges. I've been reminded what it is to live dangerously free. It's like running naked in the streets. And you know no one's watching, but there's somewhere there's going to be drivers on the road and somewhere someone's catching. And it's late and the street lights are out and you've got gin on your breath, and so you do it. And for just one moment, you forget about all the pain and the debt. You forget your name and address. But E.T. phone home because we're struggling again. He feels like nothing again. She thanks the gods for her pen. And Chris T. phone a friend because she thinks she loves him again. It's like them tragedies where no one gets to love in the end. I know where I'm from. And I now know that I belong. And I am beyond strong. And the last time was the last time that I let any man prove me wrong. That I let anyone prove to me that I can't even sing my own song. And so it goes. Who knows? Do you know? Fuck knows. I mean, I'd like to think, I feel like, yeah, I'm not just gonna go wherever the wind blows. I've got goals. And I need a man who knows. A man who chose me and one that I chose. And I guess until then, I'll just continue to grow. Die fast, live slow. Keep on writing love prose.
This is her Moetry debut. What do you think about that? I asked about an hour long, so thank you for that. It's the first time, definitely the last time. Let's make some noise for coming through. Okay, a couple of things to point out quickly. So this room here, after us, we've got another event in here, so we're gonna literally get the next guy on. Gonna close the show. You guys can hang around for a bit, drink and that, but we slowly kind of need to get the fuck out of here, basically. But trust me, I'll be here for now. Please speak to the poets, speak to the artists, speak to me, speak to New York. No, just speak to us. But thank you everyone for coming down. You've all been amazing. Let's make some noise for all the artists. Let's make some noise for New York and Advocate and Mariella. Let's make some noise for Laylow for making this possible. Okay, let's make some noise for the camera crew coming through. You're going to be on camera. Better clap properly if you want to get a good shot. Right, last artist we got coming through. He's performed at Moetry once before. He made his debut in Peckham. He's actually such an articulated character, and his presence is always felt. Man like Dan, come close it down, my bro. Make some noise for Dan coming through. One more time. Last act. Make some noise for Dan.
Hello, yeah, I'm Dan Whitlam. I basically, I got into poetry with my grandma. I've told both this a few times, but love Granny, yeah, absolutely. But I basically, we'd have these like long phone calls together, and she was telling me a story about, she lives in Yorkshire, which is like North England, all the American people. Yeah, so basically she was coming down from Yorkshire, and she was drinking some wine, and she ended up swallowing her tongue. I mean, that's a thing, that can happen. This isn't a poem, by the way, this is just... So yeah, so basically she ended up swallowing her tongue, and this guy next to her basically like put his hand in her mouth so she could like, and he took it out so she could breathe again. And amazing. And they started talking, and it turns out he was a wrestler called the Masked Kung Fu. Fucking incredible. And basically that ended up being my granddad, and that was the kind of like meeting story. It's completely true, I swear. But she was then asking me about like, you know, how I met someone and, you know, whatever. And I said, okay, well, I met this girl down by the lake, down by A Lake. It was very like nice and beautiful. And she was saying, no, you know, like really jazz it up for me a bit. What was she like? I said, okay, well, I guess she had this sort of like ineffable grace, which sort of shine bright amongst all the nefarious characters, and this aura which plays the limerence of her mind and soul, like whole mind under control by just the lilt of her voice. And as I said, we met up on the bankside of this comely lagoon under a blanket of stars and the dark side of the moon, and she was just sat there picking petals of a summer poppy's bloom, and wound around her wrist in pink thread was this balloon. And I nervously said that, what the balloon celebrated, and she said that it flew to mourn this land, You know, this land which had been turned barren by just the eternal greed of man. She spoke of susurrous snakes being ripped from happy homes to make way for a concrete jungle built on nature's bones. You know, how sad it is we destroy perfection to make way for avarice. And this she spoke with her silver-tongued rhetoric as I just sat there longingly and listened. I mean, she christened my mind with newfangled ideas and philosophies discussing life and life's lessons, professions and their novelties. And she told me she wished to be a teacher. You know, a moulder of minds for education was the key. And I just said, well, teacher, you've turned my pupils into pupils and taught them better things to see. And for hours we sat and spoke, smoking woodbines under the night's cloak, all the while my heart refusing to dead its dance. You know, her chantoyant eyes had me entranced with the little flecks of gold and green that sparkle with jubilant behaviour under the night's pale glow. And in a thoughtless act of passion, I grabbed her wrist and then grabbed the balloon thread, and with teeth bared, I bit through and released that balloon that we'd shared. And she cried out and screamed, "What have you done?" Just like that. and I just cried back, "My dear, now our words float by the sun." You know, these ideas that we've shared rise high towards the heavens, so the gods may hear our pleas and rid the world of its 7 sins that do plague and take away our lands. You know, they glamorize the twisted villain and idolize the crooked man. This balloon that now flies doesn't mourn but will rise as a beacon of hope for the folks that cry at night. And she silently smiled, sort of nodded. But, you know, through searching eyes, I could see her pupils just following that balloon up and up, on through wondrous heights and on towards the unknown. And so I took her face in between my hands, kind of like this. And I said that moments like this belong to you and me. That's he and she, lost in each other's gaze for an eternity. And this eternity I'll spend eternally by your perfectly formed form. And it's no courtesy, for I feel blessed to be in the warmth of our certainty. And here, quite honestly, nervously, but perfectly purposefully, I'll say that I love you. And I think that's fucking incredible, you know? Seriously. It is. To have this being in front of you who can bring you all down to naught, but then at the same time build you up as if through her hands you were wrought. You're caught within her smile, so kind she has taught. She feeds my mind with her knowledge. I call it food for thought. Now, all that I speak is uttered through these lips of purpose. Yes, these lips of lust, the lips with urges, and these lips wish to lips your lips and kiss the lips which I worship. No nervous slips, just these wordless trips through the circuits of your imagination as we interlock fingertips. And now I want to make you smile. So I'm desperately searching the floor for any rare form of beauty that I can pick up and give to you as a sign of my love. And I come across this bouquet of forget-me-nots. And as I pass them to you, I whisper, "Forget-me-not." For people in this life tend to forget me a lot. But, you know, I won't forget what I love and I like. And like these forget-me-nots, darling, don't forget me tonight. Because this love is you and me. That's he and she, lost in each other's fucking brilliance for the whole world to see. And my grandma liked it. She said it's not a wrestler, but...
Yeah, that's how you close it down. Make some noise for that, motherfucking man. Right.
So yeah, on that Instagram and stuff, I'm just Dan Whitlam. So DANWHITLAM. So yeah,
Make some noise for Dan, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all been amazing. If you're not following the page Moetry, it's at JUSTMOETRY, just Moetry. You've all been amazing. We're going to be back next month at Prince of Peckham, I believe. And then we've got, if anyone's got friends in Manchester, we're going to be there as well. This is Mo. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to the show. Make some noise. If you ain't going to go home, you're going to get hell out of here real quick. I know Friday Dan is done. Make some noise for Mum and Dad one more time. In America, make some noise.
Shout out to Just Moetry. Make sure you go follow them at just Moetry. Again, if you guys would like to see this show, you can go check it out on YouTube and Facebook. It's recorded. Look up Nuyorican Poets Café. You can go check it out. Again, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, or a Z because poetic license. Thank you, London. Thank you, New York City. Thank you, Mariella Salazar. Thank you to Liam and Gavin over in London doing tech. Thank you to Ron Mark Thompson, our assistant producer. So we're about to shut it down. Thank you, Jason Quinones, as well, for getting this puppy started. Thank you, Laylow. And Mo, I'm going to be hitting you up later, brother. All right, y'all. I hope everyone has a good night, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from in the world, and we'll see you soon.